Superintendent of Schools. I'd like to welcome you to October Superintendent's Viewpoint. We are going to take a look at Hoover School at this session, and also we'll visit the junior high and the high school for Students of the Month. I have with me Fred Nix, my Assistant Superintendent, and we're looking at the Hoover School, the new section, and it's quite a facility, Fred.
Oh, it's a great transformation from the 1920s front end to the 2004 front end of the building.
Now, at this section right here, where was the old section at? In fact, this is just such a beautiful place, a transformation here. I can't even remember where the old part was. This was the old part right here at the beginning.
As you're looking at it, right here was the two-story 1920s section was right here, the two-story. That came down, and in its place we put a brand new media center, art room, and other offices and technology here at the front end.
You know, I've been very pleased, and I know members of the community have been very pleased on how they matched up the part of the building. It doesn't even, the matching of the bricks and the way it conforms to the old part of the building, and actually it's not an old part of the building now because of the renovation. So by looking at the outside, it's just a beautiful match, and I'd like to for us to go inside and take a look at the renovation.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, Mr. Nix, we're now in the media center, and this is the first chance I've had to see it since they have the books in, and this is what a facility for the kids here at Hoover School.
Not only a media center, but the technology is here too. As we can see, the youngsters around the computers, and when they get the books fully restacked, it'll be a combination library, technology center for all of Hoover's students.
Now, as you can see, as we walk in here, just the design itself, the area here at the entrance of the center, the high ceilings, you have the technology part here where they actually can project on a big screen, and then in the back they have a place where the students and the media teacher, the teachers can read to the students for a story hour type situation. It's just a beautiful facility, and what a great place for students to do to research and for them to read.
It's an outstanding facility for the folks here. Now, we've got to remember this was this 1922 old section that now it's transformed into beautiful, brand new facilities for these folks.
Well, let's go take another look at some more renovation and walk through this media center.
Right next door.
What is the art room?
The new art room.
Okay, let's take a look at the art room. Okay, Mr. Nix, we are now in the art room, the new art room at Hoover School, and another beautiful renovation, a new part of the building to Hoover School. It's all brand new, constructed, beautiful colors. Explain a little bit the availability of the art materials here and what an art teacher will be able to do with their students.
Certainly. Now, what we have here at Hoover is a large size room. It's well over 1,000 square feet. Big enough for the kids to be able to move around in, storage for all of their supplies, and actually a kiln room, a separate room where we'll be able to do some ceramics and other things that they use for kiln work. And this particular room was, like you said, brand new construction, not renovation, but actually built as an art room, which is sometimes in the past we had a room that we just turned into an art room. This was built as an art room for these folks here.
Wonderful. And you know, usually you go into the elementary buildings and you're right, that is a classroom that's turned into one, and this has actually been designed. You look at the sink area. I know that's always, they have a double sink, one sink here and a sink towards the back, closet space, the flooring and everything, the tables, the work tables. This will all be very helpful, and also with the kiln, it's going to be really a positive for the art teacher. I remember in the elementary buildings, you would not have the sinks. So they would have to travel to the bathroom and track paints and a lot of mess. And then the kiln sometimes were not even located in the same classroom. So they would have to go to another area of the building for that. And then we had problems with the kiln. What kind of a kiln is that they have?
It's brand new. It's not even on site yet, so it's on its way. Like some of our things are not quite done. The room is built, ready for the kiln. It's got the exhaust fans. Everything's ready to go, but it's one of those things that's just not here yet.
And I can attest, when these kids get to the high school, we have an excellent art program at the high school, and of course that's one of our goals in the future is to take a look at renovating the high school art rooms in the future. But we sure have some outstanding students who really benefit from the elementary and junior high programs, and when they get to the high school, they've done an excellent job. We've had some students that have been winning state awards and have gone on to be art teachers or gone into the art field as far as you would say fine arts. Some may become architects, some may go into the other fields of art and fine arts.
And speaking of the kiln, they get started at this level, but at the high school level, they've even gone so far as to make tiles that they sell at flea markets or at art shows that have earned money for scholarships and so forth. So there's not only the fun of doing it, it's actually practical. And we even have used some of their tiles in some of our new construction at United Oaks. They're that good, and they get started here.
That's great. Well, let's go on to another part of the building. Okay, we are now in the kindergarten room, and as you can see, the kids are getting ready to go home right now. But what a beautiful classroom! Really, a beautiful classroom for kindergarten. Mrs. Beaver, who has been here, how many years have you been teaching here in the district, Mrs. Beaver? Maybe a few years. Let's say a few years. What do you think of this new facility?
Wonderful. It's just marvelous. We're really enjoying it, and it's a nice setup for the children too.
It sure is. It's a beautiful facility. And how did the kids like it?
They love it. They just love it. They can't wait to get here. They don't want to go home when they're sick.
That's great. Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now in the a nice facility here. Now, this is the choir room?
Choir, band, and actually the stage, because behind the curtain opens up into the gymnasium, and now they have a performance stage here at Hoover.
Oh, this is the first time I've seen the way this operates. This is really nice. So they can rehearse here, and as you can see that they're the Mrs. Gutmacher is working with the choir right here, and they're practicing, and then prior to a concert, they can go right onto the stage here, and also band meets here too. So really, what a nice facility.
Yeah, the sixth grade band practices here when they don't have the choir, but also for performances, this stage opens up so that the folks can sit out into the gym and watch their kids better than they ever had it before.
This is another thing that I'd like to see in the other buildings is to have a multi-purpose type rooms in the other buildings. We don't have this in all the buildings. But it's nice having the stage area. I think the only buildings that don't have that would be Ford and Longfellow. Is that correct? Webb. But it's what a nice way to have a separate room that is built for choir and instrumental music.
And the performances for the parents to see them. That's great.
That's correct. Great place. We are now in the newly renovated gymnasium of Hoover School. And previously we were on the other side of this wall, and this is the stage, the actual stage, and this is what we were talking about. It's a multi-purpose area where it adds more room, but it's better for performances. They can have instrumental music concerts here, they can have vocal music, they can have plays, and again, it's just really serves as a multi-purpose entertainment or a performance type area for the students.
And what we did to try to help with the sound here is we put a new ceiling in which absorbs a lot of the sound, so the echoing is not near as great as it was previously in here. And it's so important because of the performances with people not being able to even understand people talking. Now they can enjoy the performances of the kids much better here.
Yeah, and as you can see the way the lights are situated, covered, and I like, you see the vent areas from the new furnace that we have installed in all the buildings. It's a new furnace.
One, right, we have new boilers here at this building,
boilers.
and with this part of the building, we have some air conditioning, and it does spill a little bit over into this area with the ventilation. So
very nice.
It's a very good new this is renovated facility next to new, but we've kind of blended it.
Major renovation at Hoover School.
Right.
Okay, as you can see here, we have all new flooring, and again, this makes the painting of the hallways is just beautiful the way this is now in comparison. Again, we still have some other work to complete. We'd like down the road to complete the classrooms and to have new doors, but it's quite a major renovation to Hoover School, and really makes Hoover make it seem like it's a brand new building. We have a new office area. We've changed the office area from the other side of the building from the old side, and now we have a brand new renovated office that is very functional for this school. So you want to talk a little bit about this? And it's quite a renovation because we've added a number of offices there.
Right. In the front office, of course, we have conference rooms, and we have copy rooms in the principal's office, and actually a much bigger entryway than they had before for the public to come into. But along with these halls that you were talking about, we've air conditioned the classrooms here at Hoover so that the comfort of the students and the staff make it a much more pleasant place to learn here at Hoover. This building is really one of the top-notch renovated buildings in the whole district.
Well, I'd like to take a look at the parking lot areas and exactly how we've changed the parking situation too at Hoover School.
Great.
Okay, as you can see, we have a new parking situation here. Previously, they had nowhere to do a turnaround. We've added parking spots here at Hoover. This used to be the playground area, and again, we've added a change to the format here because this was a big playground, and so we've taken over part of the playground with the parking lot. The baseball field is towards the end, and now they have also new playground equipment. So this is really a major renovation to Hoover School, not only from the taking down the old part of the building and making addition to it, but also to the outside of for playground areas and recreational areas for the children.
Well, one of the other things is safety. Being able to do a parking and drop-off loop here, we're able to get the students off of the street where the public would drive normally, trying to make it a better situation for the students to be dropped off in a safe area, along with, of course, getting into the building without having to fight through the traffic on the street. So we've done a lot here at Hoover, and we're very proud of what we've accomplished.
And as you can see here, it's going to take a while for parents to get used to the parking situation here. We have parents that that are leaving their cars parked here, and again, down the road, we are hopeful that parents will time their pickup in a different way, and that they won't be blocking the parking areas. And it does cause a congestion problem, but again, with time, we know that the parking situation will improve, and they'll be able to follow procedures as far as the pickup and drop off of their students.
Welcome everyone to Superintendent's Viewpoint. It's our pleasure today, as always, to interview our two students of the month, one representing our junior high here in the Hazel Park School District, and the other representing Hazel Park High School. It's very, very nice to be in the new junior high here. It makes for a nice backdrop for our interview today. And Lisa, you're the student of the month, the very first student of the month chosen for this year. And Lisa, your name is, how do you pronounce your last name? It's Vanderhagen, is that correct? Lisa Vanderhagen. Lisa, but how do you, how's it been going to school here in this new junior high? Pretty nice?
Yeah, it's been really nice.
What have you particularly liked about this junior high? Now you're what? Are you in the 8th grade?
Yeah.
So you spent 7th grade where?
At Beecher.
At Beecher, yeah. Okay, now compare this to Beecher. What do you like about this over and above Beecher?
I really like the gym.
The
and
gym.
Yeah.
Now you have 2 gyms, I think, don't
Yeah.
you? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it stands to reason you probably would like the gym because you're a big sports fan and everything, right? Yeah. What other differences did you note coming in here other than the gymnasium? Anything else?
How it's much easier to get to classes and on time, and it's quicker.
Why is it easier? Because Beecher had 3 levels, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's easier with all the classes and the pods and more open.
What you say pods for the viewing audience? Tell us what a pod is exactly.
The pods are just a certain area where there's more, like a few classes in each teacher.
Okay, like areas.
Yeah,
So-
areas.
Yeah, Dr. Mayo probably didn't know. He probably thought you were talking about pea pods or something.
You know, I talk about pods. You know, I see how this Patriot Cafe,
Right.
and how this is really has. When you're upstairs, you can really see this whole area. When you're eating lunch here, how do you like it in comparison to what it used to be at the other building?
Way nicer.
A lot nicer.
Yeah.
How's the food?
It's good.
You know, Mr. Meisinger and I haven't had anything to eat, and we smell the food.
Yeah.
Do you have any pull, to get us some food?
You think you could run back there and get us a hot dog or something?
French fries, hamburger deluxe. What's the best food here? What kind of food do you like the best?
I always get French fries and a cookie.
French fries and a cookie. Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty good.
But your mom and dad would probably prefer you eat fruit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you, Lisa. You're an all-A student. Have you gotten all A's all through junior high?
Yeah.
Really? Wow, that's pretty good. And it says here you've been on the principal's list, honor roll, citizenship list. And I asked you this at the board meeting the other night, and thought it was kind of humorous. You won an art contest too. Are you pretty good in art?
Pretty
You're
good.
pretty good in just about everything. And you were the winner of the National Spuddy Drawing Contest. Tell our viewers what that means, Spuddy Drawing.
The Spuddy contest was we had to draw a potato. It was through the schools for lunch food.
Oh, so for lunch food, you mean?
It was
And that's appropriate because you like French fries. So you had to, before it became a French fry, you had to do a spuddy. You had to draw the spuddy. So describe it. How was the drawing?
the Spuddy. You could do it in any different scene, a background. I did it in a classroom with a teacher and little potatoes.
That was in the back behind the
Yeah.
Spuddy itself? That's pretty
So
good.
you won the award. Wow.
All A
something.
student, great artist apparently.
Sure.
That's pretty nice. And you're very much an athlete too.
I want you to, make sure you put that on your resume when you get older and you're applying for a job. It's like Mr. Meisinger does that when he puts it on his resume. Mr. Meisinger used to be a medal winner for pigs. He used to go to the state fair and would get medals for that. So you can put that on your resume that you won an award for Spuddies.
Right. I was a champion pig farmer, and you're a champion potato drawer. Enough of that. Hey, you're a great basketball player, aren't you?
Yeah,
Sounds that way, anyway, from what I've read here. How many years have you played basketball?
since 4th grade.
4th grade. Huh? You played. You had elementary teams, that type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. And what position do you play in basketball?
I mostly play the guard
Guard.
or forward.
Yeah. What's the highest number of points you ever got in a game?
Probably 8
Really?
or 9, yeah.
That's pretty good for junior high. So,
Sure.
Yeah. So you run track, I think, right?
Yeah, I ran it last year.
You going to run again this year?
I don't know.
Don't know. I got to wait and see. Huh?
Yeah.
And played volleyball.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you're really, really active. And it says here, Dr. Mayo, she tell everyone what you want to be. someday?
I want to be a teacher.
Well, that's great. That's really great.
You strike me as one who would be a very good teacher because you seem very outgoing, smile a lot. I think that's pretty much important ingredients to be a good teacher is to smile and be outgoing.
What
certainly
made you
are.
decide to be a teacher?
I'm not sure. Probably my teachers from elementary. I really liked it.
Is that what you'd like to teach, elementary?
Yeah. Second grade.
Would you like to come back here and teach in Hazel Park?
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
We have a lot of our students that come back from the that have gone through our school system and come back and teach in elementary, junior high, and high school. So that's pretty good. Now, have you decided where you want to go to college?
Yeah.
Where's that?
I want to go to Michigan State.
Michigan State. Yeah. What made you decide on Michigan State?
I don't know. It just yeah.
Michigan State school, and that's where you're going to go. Huh?
You know that Michigan State recently won an award, national NCAA award, for having the most female athletic teams
Really?
offering for Title IX. Yeah, they won an award, national award. Yeah,
Maybe
their basketball program is excellent.
maybe
basketball
you can play
program's
basketball for Michigan State. Huh?
Yep.
Get a scholarship and all that. Well, let's see what else. Now it says that you're you involved in computers, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have a computer at home?
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of chatting with your friends on
Yeah.
the computer? Dr. Mayo has a daughter. How old are you?
I'm 13.
13. Your daughter's what?
14.
Dr. Mayo?
You IMing people
Yeah.
all the time?
Now, what is the IMing?
Why don't you explain that?
It's just through the computer. You can talk right back and forth to people
okay.
online.
So it's all right.
Yeah.
and they go real fast.
Yeah.
Do your parents ever try to catch you from talking IMing and then you do it real fast?
Yeah.
You switch to something real fast?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Well,
no way you can catch them.
How can you go fast? What do you mean? Were they just?
Well, it's instant.
Yeah.
It's conversation back and forth. So someone will say
Oh.
something like a couple words, and then I'll write back. And
Oh, so you develop probably a certain type of shortcuts in terms of language vocabulary. You have certain words. and
Yeah.
everything? Is that right? Oh, you don't. Now that's something that is beyond me. What are some of the shortcut words that you might?
Like LOL is laugh out loud and.
Ah, yeah, I've heard of LOL. Okay. So if they say something funny, you say just put LOL. Well, that's pretty interesting. At any rate, Lisa, let me just finish up by telling our viewers what the teachers have said about you, teachers and the staff here at Hazel Park Junior High. It says, Lisa's doing a fine job in all her classes. She's always well behaved, pleasure to have in class. She's a very responsible student who works to the best of her ability. She's not afraid to take on a task. Lisa has helped out the holiday basket car wash, packing holiday baskets, cleanup day for the city of Hazel Park, and setting up and decorating for school dances. Lisa is a well-rounded student and definitely a great role model for the other students. We at Hazel Park Junior High are pleased to have such a fine, outstanding student attending our school. And I would agree with everything that's said here, Lisa.
Thank
You undoubtedly have probably one of the best smiles that I've seen in some time.
very nice. Yeah,
So,
really.
with that, we thank you for talking with us today, okay?
Thank you.
All right, good luck. Good luck. And now it's our pleasure to interview and come to know the Student of the Month from Hazel Park High. It's Danny Glover. Danny, you're a senior this year, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And Danny, this is we're conducting an interview in this science workroom, and normally we do our interviews in the studio down the line there, but we decided to take on a different venue for that today. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the renovations that have taken place at the high school over the last year or so?
The new science rooms are really great. I remember because I had chemistry 1 in 10th grade before we got the new chem labs, and I remember there were some experiments that we couldn't even do because we didn't have the proper equipment, like a fume hood, because the products, the gases it produced were too dangerous.
Really?
Yeah. And I haven't really seen the new gym that much, but I've heard it's really nice.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I remember the old science rooms. They were getting pretty old, weren't they? In fact, I was always impressed with how both the teachers and the students were able to actually carry on science experiments and everything. But this is it's a whole different ballgame now. These rooms are much bigger, right?
Yeah.
And pretty good facilities. Do you have facilities now that you didn't have in the old ones? You mentioned some of the gases and so forth.
Yeah. We have now, instead of no fume hoods, we have 2.
Okay.
Which basically it's just we can do more dangerous reactions in them because it vents the gases straight up, so we won't breathe it in.
So there were actually experiments that you couldn't do because it wasn't safe?
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible. We had, and fortunately, we were able to expand also the science labs because we had this one side that we're in now. We had the science labs, but then we expanded 3 more rooms on the front hallway because we had other programs, the county programs that we moved to Edison. So. But we didn't have good running water. There was all kinds of, the sinks were in bad shape, so it really is nice now, really is nice.
Danny mentioned the fact that we have new gymnasiums and so forth, but we also have redone all the hallways here, and the library was renovated as well, a little bit of work in the offices. I would say, though, probably the major renovation that took place inside the building was the science labs, which were badly needed. Also, though, for our viewers, in case they don't know, and I'm assuming most of them do, we did a lot of work outside with our new plaza area for the football field and so forth. So this particular high school, I think, as far as the facility is concerned, is one of the nicer ones around now.
Yes.
So you're a fortunate guy here, Dan. Well, Dan, you're 4 point, I think, right?
Yep.
Which means, therefore, that you haven't received a B to date. And I know I talked to you at the board meeting when we interviewed you about how much you study. But again, for the viewing audience, tell us a little bit about what type of preparation you need to go through in order to maintain a 4 point.
Depends on the class. Some classes I just do the homework, and I understand it, so I don't really need to do that much studying. There's others where I need to look over, especially if it involves memorization.
Yeah.
You need to definitely look over that, memorize it.
How many hours would you say you study per evening on an average?
Somewhere in between 2 and 4.
2 and 4.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, do you have a set time when you go home an area? You have your own, in your bedroom, do you have an area where you like to study, or can you study anywhere in-house?
I can really study anywhere. Usually I just go onto my bed, study there.
Do you play music when you study?
Sometimes.
Sometimes students do that. I've always wondered about that. What classes, are there any classes off the top of your head that required the most homework, that were probably the most challenging as you look back?
Well, there's a difference between most homework and most challenging.
Good point. Good point. All right, let's start with the most homework.
Most homework? Math and science.
Math and science. Most challenging?
English.
Really? Now, can you give me a course that was the most challenging?
AP English.
AP English. Is that with Mrs. Marcinkowski?
Marcinkowski.
Yeah. Hard, huh?
Yeah.
What was hard about that? I mean, what?
I'm not an English student.
Oh, okay.
I'm more math and science.
More math and science, okay. Are you going, I presume, therefore, you're going into a field related to math and science?
Yeah, I'm probably going to end up going into science. I might become a teacher.
Okay,
Good for you.
Yeah, good. Well, you've been a very active student here, and I'm looking at the little resume that was put together on you here. You've been a member of the National Honor Society, Gold Card Club, Spanish Club. You've taken a number of years Spanish, have you?
I'm in third year Spanish right now.
Third year Spanish. Can you understand quite a bit of Spanish by now? Did you go to Spain and know what they're talking about?
We learn Mexican Spanish.
Oh, really?
There
Excuse
are
me.
slight differences.
Yeah, I believe
Yes,
that.
you're right. So you went to Mexico, you would be able to understand.
A little bit.
You'd be able to get to a restaurant.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Okay.
I get to a
Do better
restaurant.
than me, because I tried to get to a restaurant and I ended up at a grocery store in Mexican town where no one spoke English. So.
I know a few words. Banos.
Baño.
Baño? Okay.
Bathroom.
Yeah. Well, that was close. Now, okay, you've involved in swimming too, right?
Yeah.
Have you swum all 3 years?
Yeah, I'll be. Our fourth year starts. My fourth year will start. It's going to start about the 22nd of this month.
Okay, we got to swim again then, eh? You were the most dedicated swimmer in the 9th and the 11th grade.
Yep.
And I kidded you at the board meeting about what happened to 10th grade, and I thought it was a girlfriend, but you said no, that
No.
wasn't it. So what does it take to be the most dedicated swimmer? I mean, how did you get that award, do you know? I mean,
I just showed up to every practice and did what I was told.
probably that's why you got it, because not everybody makes it to swim practices. Swim practices are grueling, I would think.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good award to have. That's really an honor to be the most dedicated.
Yeah, no
Because
kidding.
that means that you showed, the most effort at practice and
Yeah.
during the time.
You volunteered quite a bit in the community. Can you tell us some things you've done out in the community there?
Just a couple weeks ago, I did the holiday basket car wash. I've done that for 2 years now. It's through NHS. Whenever I get the chance, I volunteer for Homework Place. That's always
No,
fun.
in Homework Place, do you actually work with some of the younger students then?
In Homework Place, basically we go down to the library, and we wait for students.
Okay,
A lot of times we don't get that many,
but sometimes you
but
do.
sometimes we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And you probably help them with the science and math part of it, I would imagine.
I can help most of them with pretty much everything.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes someone like you do volunteer work? Because that's really important, and especially important not only for your character, because obviously we're impressed with your 4.0 average, but I always am impressed with the students of the month from the high school that they're so active, and like yourself, you're swimming, and then you're doing all this volunteer work. And I think that's very important for your character, not only now, but also for the future. So what can you say that, encourages you or motivates you to do volunteer work like you do for the schools here or in the community?
I like to help people. Like one of the things I really like to do was last year through NHS I was able to help out at Webster Elementary with their school newspaper, and it was really fun to see looks on the kids' faces, and it was fun to help them.
It just gives you a good feeling.
Yeah.
How did you end up at Webster doing that? Helping with the newspaper. What happened there? How did you get hooked up into that?
We have meetings every other Thursday for NHS, and somebody said we need someone to help with the newspaper, and I
Good.
volunteered.
Okay. So were you working with what age kids?
As far as I know, 1 through 6.
1 through 6. Oh, so you worked with all grades
Yeah.
then, huh?
When you go to college, don't stop that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they go on to college and they get so involved, and there are a lot of activities that you can continue to be involved in.
Yeah.
And of course, it's always nice to have our Hazel Park students come back and help, with volunteer work here. And people really appreciate it. It's really positive that you can give back to the community what the community's given you. So
I would
it's
say, too,
positive.
Danny, if you want to go into teaching,
Yes.
I think that's really important, because teachers, it isn't only GPA and all of that,
Oh, yeah.
but it's also your interaction with people and the things that you do for people and so forth. Well, Dan, you're obviously it's your last year. I suspect you're going to have a very successful year, just as you've had in the past, and we congratulate you for all the really good things that you've done. Congratulations on your 4-point. As I told you at the board meeting, though, something happens to that 4-point, not the end of the world, okay?
Yeah.
And like I say, it's been fun interviewing you, and good luck to the rest of the year, okay?
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.